Testing, testing. Are you on?
No.
Honey, this is how the holidays are gonna be, because we're gonna have kids coming from left, right, and center. Older they get.
Well, let's,
I get it.
let's,
Honey, he told me he was coming like 2 hours ago.
I know,
He was stopping down food buying and everywhere else.
I know, but you should have said, don't take the rail. Drive your car because you're screwing every,
I didn't tell him dinner was that thick either. So I'm sorry. It was like a little bit my fault. I'll take ownership here.
well, sometimes when your kids get,
I'm still having.
it's not bothering
Okay.
me. It's not bothering me, but it
I
just,
just don't want everybody to be starving and all that.
well, but we're waiting on one person. And I'd be pissed if it were, if Bray or Luke would have done that, I'd be pissed. I'd be like, you know what, we're gonna go ahead and eat. You ride the fucking rail. Ride the rail back, get your car and come back and eat. We'll save you a plate.
But I don't wanna be like that.
But you don't learn anything by,
He's here at 6 o'clock.
okay.
Damn, babe. All right, I don't get him. It's my doings. What?
Nothing.
Everybody can eat if they wanna eat, damn. All right, so.
Hey, Jamie, can you hear me? The mics aren't on yet. We haven't started yet.
Can you hear me? Austin, can you hear me?
I think so. Wait, what are we doing? Go ahead.
20 minutes, you're right.
I'm good. I'm good with you. I'm good with my end. Is your mic on? I tested the audio 5 minutes ago. It should be-
Test 1, 2.
Jamie, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you
Test the
fine.
audio on our end, so it might be something on his end he needs to change.
He's coming. Unmute, please.
I'm unmuted.
Jamie Lyon, can you hear us?
I can hear you fine.
So you definitely were live on video, right? So he
Yes.
should be able to hear us.
I mean, yeah, we have started the live stream and I tested the audio.
Okay.
So
Well, when
He just sent me a text and said, can't hear me. But that was 2 minutes ago. Jamie Lyon, can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
all right, we're gonna move.
I can hear you, but you
Forward,
can't hear me.
because-
No, I can't hear you. Should I be able to hear Jamie?
Yes.
if he's got his microphone turned on.
Do you have your microphone turned on, Jamie? He can hear me now.
I mean,
Okay.
check the settings. Three times.
No, he
Check.
can hear me. We just
Okay.
can't hear him.
Okay, can we get a video of him for a quick minute?
Jamie, can you turn your video on?
Perfect.
There
Thank
he
you.
is.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and open the meeting November 14th, 2022. Regular Village Council meeting. I show the time at 6:07. I show we have a full quorum with Jamie Lyon participating remotely. First, I'd like a motion to allow council members to participate remotely.
So moved.
All's in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Yeah, since we can't hear you, Jamie, we'll just do a hands up if you have a,
Okay. He thumbs upped it.
okay. Next up, adoption of the agenda. Do we have any changes?
Yes. So I need to add on the consent agenda, number 6, consider dissolving the Village Hall Design Finishes Subcommittee. Oh, that's us.
Is that us?
That's you too.
We're being dissolved.
We're being dissolved. Okay, I need to remove new business number 6.
That's going on consent agenda? So we're
Yes.
just- Okay, so
We're
we
just
did
being
the-
dissolved.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I'm removing new business number 6, which is discussion and consideration of Randolph landscaping settlement. Okay. And then I would like to add closed session pursuant to 143.318.11A3 to consult with the village attorney to preserve attorney-client privilege.
Okay.
And that's all that I have.
Anybody else?
Well, the mission.
Whenever you leave. We'll do
Okay.
it
we'll
right- we'll do it
that
right when you leave.
Any other changes?
Nope.
And Austin, I assume you're gonna have those in there for me? It's already done? Okay. Okay. That said, I'll need a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
So moved.
All's in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Next up, we have pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. Okay, next up, public comment period. Austin, do we have anyone signed up? Yeah, so just a quick reminder, state your name, address, and you have, Kim is our timer today. We got 3 minutes to, you can read us a story or whatever you want to share.
Excellent. My name is Michael Crowder. I've been the new installed Reverend of Banks Presbyterian Church around the corner.
Oh,
And,
congrats.
In the process of everything that has happened, I live over at Arboretum. A lot of my staff and families that we serve over at the restaurants with Nothing But Noodles and True Pizza and Super Chicks and some of all the other ones that we serve, they're your families here. And so we love serving your families. And if there's anything that we can ever do for you, personally, for your families, to partner with you and to do something different in order to create a better community at Marvin, we would love to be part of that and helping you do that. My family's been invested here about 12 years. We lived around Marvin. We don't live in Marvin proper, but almost all of our things that we do and our friends and family are here. As we got classmates, parents are on your, here working with us, and it's just exciting to be here, and to be the new pastor over at Banks is very, very exciting because of the long history of Marvin in particular, because and I was brought on because I've been in multicultural ministry most of my life, mostly serving in Black and Hispanic churches. And to have the opportunity to continue that's been happening here for 101 years between Marvin, Amy, Zion Church, and Banks. It is very exciting. So thank you for having me. And if there's anything we can ever do to serve you or to answer or clarify things or come alongside you, we'd love to do it.
Awesome.
And
Welcome.
Michael, your last name, how do you spell it?
It's spelled Krauter.
I saw the welcome sign.
Sauerkraut with ER.
Okay,
So-
awesome. Well, congrats on the new position and
Yeah.
welcome to the community. So, and that's great. I go to Nothing But, I think my kids were just there the other day because they had the high school.
Yeah, we did.
And-
Yeah, I delivered it for you guys. then,
Okay,
so.
all right. Well, congrats. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thanks for,
Welcome.
anyone else? All right, moving on. We have presentations.
Presentations.
No presentations. Next up, reports and updates. We'll start with manager's report.
I have nothing, sir. Most of mine are agenda items.
What's that?
All of mine are agenda items.
Okay, Perfect. Next up, planners report.
All right, just have a few items to give you guys updates on. The first being, we did receive the executed Marvin Loop agreement from DOT, which now authorizes us to begin the project, as in from like doing the RFP and stuff for the preliminary engineering. Got all those approvals. I'll have the RFP done probably tomorrow. And I'll have Chaplin and Christina review it and then be able to probably then post that by the end of the week, first of next week.
How long
Okay.
do we give them to respond?
I
Like
think-
what's normal? I don't know.
I'll have to check because a lot of it still has to then go to DOT for additional approvals or review and approvals of those documents. The minimum's probably at least, I would say 30 days. So the goal is to hopefully have this out and then potentially have the results of that on the December meeting, and then we can potentially then discuss moving into contract once DOT confirms everything.
So will we get the results and then DOT has to say, yeah, these are good, and then we can award it? Or we say, hey, this is who we want, and then we send it to DOT?
They have a list of like 600 already like pre-qualified like engineering or firms and stuff, and pretty much if it's on that list, if they're on that list, then we're kind of good to select. So, and I would think any of the ones that we get back are going to be people on that list. But yeah, we, like I said, got that executed. So we're moving forward. Hopefully we'll have all that and we'll start really kind of diving into that preliminary engineering phase and the design phase at the very beginning of the year. Text amendment updates, the gates and private roads. Once again, it went back to planning board. I'm working on completing the actual formal codify, like kind of what's going to be proposed of every section change based off of the, I guess that kind of base that I presented to you guys at the October work session, I believe it was. That will, due to the training and the short planning board agenda that we're having tomorrow, that's going to be on their agenda for their full recommendation in December, and then should be in front of you guys come January. The actual text amendment application received for the women's center, that one I have done some preliminary kind of like, once again, a base of recommended staff changes. Planning board's going to discuss that briefly tomorrow, but once again, I don't expect them to make any type of recommendation / really dive into it. So that will be probably once again on your guys' agenda for consideration in January as well. And Chaplin, I'll probably send you that draft of what I have tomorrow so we can kind of discuss it. Then the Brantley property sketch plan submittal update. They held their PIM, 2 weeks ago? Thanks for everybody that came.
You're welcome.
I was out of town. Thanks for calling me out.
But we had about 5 people show up to the first session, and then actually nobody showed up. So, well, I think one resident showed up at the very end of the second session. But we waited here until about 6:30, 6:45, and I told the applicants that they could leave at that time. And I mean, I was here until 7:15 to make sure, but pretty good turnout, pretty good discussion. That's now moving forward. They have amended their site plan. That's going to be on planning board's agenda tomorrow. Once again, it's kind of just hey, here's the updated information per our ordinance. The planning board has 60 days to actually now review and recommend. It's anticipated that they will make their formal recommendation in December. Be on your guys' council agenda in January. So
And where is this location?
it's the 47 acres there at the corner of Joe Carr and Marvin. One thing that we're working on is that they are planning on donating some right of way either for a future roundabout at that location.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Had some early preliminary conversations with DOT. Once again, like a roundabout to actually get that there is going to take anywhere from probably 2 to 4 years from now to even get it like funded / like really kind of in the works. So my thought was, and I actually had this conversation with our engineer, Mike, last week, is that if we have that right of way donated, potentially work with DOT to do some minor improvements, maybe a signal interchange or something there, just for the time being, because the right of way will already be there and we can use some of that intersection improvements as part of kind of the roundabout long term. So I'll have more information as that moves forward, but overall, they amended their site plan to kind of, one, based off of planning board's preliminary feedback at their last meeting, as well as feedback, comments, suggestions received from the public at their PIM meeting, as well as just staff comments. So if you guys have any questions or want to see their updated amended site plan on that, just feel free to reach out to me on that.
So
Obviously, the roundabout would be a perfect remedy for that situation, but in the interim, possibly sticking whatever. The signal wouldn't do anything to help that.
but I had made the comment at the PIM because I was like, I don't want somebody's car to end up in somebody's pool. It's far back, it's far enough back, like where that first lot line is, that I'm not sure that anybody could, I mean, I'm sure it could happen, but I was pretty adamant about it and looking at it. It's pretty far back, but that whole cul-de-sac it's a super weird, the whole layout's weird and I don't like the cul-de-sac and I don't like so Hunter's gonna talk to him about that cul-de-sac, which would help remedy like anybody ending up there. But yes, the roundabout is gonna be the best remedy for the whole situation, and others, yeah.
Yeah,
But it clearly won't be done before, any of the construction starts. So you just wonder
I
about
think we should make it happen.
interruption in that particular area that's already an issue with traffic and concerns.
well, so with their TIA, their proposal's 23 lots. And with it kind of being a low density, even though with the traffic counts, basically them doing an entrance off of Joe Carr doesn't, per DOT's just standard, like, hey, this amount of cars, amount of homes, all their standard procedures for what improvements are needed, doesn't require any type of improvement. So it's kind of hard for us to say, hey, a roundabout's got to go there on top of like with it being a DOT road, both Joe Carr and Marvin. Yeah, like we're trying our best to try to think long-term. That's part of the way we got this right away. So we already have a piece of the puzzle with getting a roundabout there. Cause it wouldn't be wise of us to approve something that those houses are maybe sitting closer, knowing that we want to have a right of way there where that's an ideal spot, especially since nothing is built there right now to get the right of way to do a roundabout there. So, like I said, and it also comes down to funding and stuff. We've already missed the window for submitting funding requests to CRTPO this year for that roundabout. On top of, we've already submitted another one with the county. So that's some at the earliest would be next fall that we'd be able to submit a funding request for. And it's also then probably contingent upon your guys' consideration if that one gets approved and how we allocate certain funds.
Hunter, if we go down the whole geo bond route and we decide we're gonna, shoot for the stars, we're gonna get it all, we're gonna do it all, can we just build it and get reimbursed?
It'd be still a similar process. And I'm not 100% sure on that question, but my thought would be since it's a DOT road and we're willing to pay for it, I don't know if we'll be able to get reimbursed, but I'm sure we'll have to still run any type of approval process and encroachments to do the work and all that stuff through DOT. It would be faster than getting funding, but I don't know if there's any type of There could be if we submit an application and cash flow flow the money.
Well, if we build it, we just own it.
Too.
And check.
About getting reimbursed,
Business
several years
control.
ago. So the bill, it wasn't even a road though. Pulte built, about a mile of road so they could open up their neighborhood before DOT was going to put through. They got reimbursed 100%.
And that's where like it could be conversations with DOT. I don't know, like I said, what the full answer of that would be. I mean, I know if we potentially get that project on their STIP, which is their funding plan, potentially, yes, we could cash flow the project to expedite it, but at the same time, we might not get reimbursed for that. And I mean, depending on if it gets improved in their STIP and then when they have it allocated per that.
Can we put that on our things to check on as we're talking to DOT about all the other things that we're
Like it
checking
either
on?
way,
Yeah, okay,
retaining it or getting reimbursed
Yeah.
for it.
okay, thank you.
All right. Anything else?
No, that's all I have unless you guys have any questions specifically on those or anything else going on.
Yes and no.
Fair. Wait.
I know.
You make a mess of that. It's all your answer.
Say, living in the gray. Make it work if we have to.
I didn't get that on tape. Apologies. Okay, moving on. Roads report. Who's got that? Christina?
We're basically gonna do that in the agenda item number 1, new business number 1.
Okay. So we'll wait on that.
Yes, sir.
Ed,
Welcome back, Ed.
welcome back. Next up is deputies report. You've been slaying them out there? What's going on? How's the neighborhood?
Ed, come up to the microphone so people, it'll catch up. That's all right.
The traffic, is, they've got us down for 64 traffic stops. I think that might actually be higher because some of the stops end up being in zone 4 because Marvin's kind of broke up, but I'll talk to Lori and see if we can get that straightened out. It might be right, I'm not sure. It seemed like I did quite a few, and I know Tommy does a lot too. So,
93?
The other one's 91.
oh, that was, oh, you're talking about the graphs. Yeah, the highest one that I saw on that when I downloaded it was one had 91 and one had 93. And usually what that is somebody that just wants to see the sign flash it. But I think it only flashes it up to like 75 if I remember correctly.
So to be clear, the sign does not have dyslexia.
We're 19.
But if you look at the graph too,
That's
it's only
crazy.
like, 0.02% of the cars are actually going over the speed limit.
That's good.
Yeah, most of them are within a reasonable range. But
Can you-
I know Andy's had an issue on his side, and I actually got parked out in front of his house and got two at 60 plus over there, so.
I had one pass me at 60 today while I was right out by the road, but the kids, it's kids leaving from high school that are,
Yeah.
and they're going in the opposite direction, so the sign's not picking them up. They're out there hot rodding every day.
I've also gotten quite a few on Marvin School Road, and Joe Carr's like a fishing barrel over there, you can just
Yeah.
Get
get
him,
him anytime.
get him, Ed. Get him.
Can you stop being
Talking about Bob speeding.
Yeah, I can tell you the thing with motorcycles, if they don't pull over for us and they run from us, supervisor's gonna tell us not to chase them. I've had the argument over.
Apologies for the
We have
councilman who wants to
restriction
take the matter into his own hand.
We have tire deflation devices in our car. And we've gotten a couple of chases with motorcycles, and it's our policy that we cannot use them on motorcycles because technically they're not a threat, but I've seen videos of motorcyclists that have killed drivers of cars and pedestrians and stuff like that. So that's not my call. It's above my pay grade, but I don't exactly agree with that policy. Do you have any other questions, anybody, about anything else on this report? I was looking at this report. This is the first one I've looked at, and I know when I was here, there was a lot more stuff on it. I don't know if that's something that just changed over the last course of a few years, or because they used to have B&Es and everything else on here, car break-ins and stuff.
We have been getting all that.
I can look into that if you need me to.
Yeah, that'd be good. See if we're just missing it off the list or we just haven't had any.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Thanks, Ed. Welcome back.
All right, next up, planning board report.
The only thing I can add to Hunter's, whole summary was what was discussed also in that meeting was gated subdivisions and private roads. So, the planning, planning board did discuss it and they're going to take it on. That's it.
Thank you, Bob. Next up, PR&G report. Who's got that? Kim?
Derek's got it.
Derek?
Kim wasn't at it, were you?
No, I was there.
Were you?
Yeah, it was at the beginning. We just talked about events and stuff. Talk about the friendship tree out front. And we talked about the Oh, I'm taking over on, the parade. And what? I know, I see it. I'm just trying to go over what was in the meeting. What else was in the meeting? Oh, we have the bat remediation. We're gonna do minimal stuff because we like the bats and we don't want to hurt the bats. So
We're doing bat remediation. We've
We're
got
not.
bat houses down there.
I know it's like little things so they don't get stuck in like the, things again and get squished.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
protecting them, not.
Yeah.
getting- Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Cause I don't, yeah. What else, Derek? What else we talk about?
We talked about the good and the bad of the trick or treat
Trick or
event.
treating. We're working out some of the
Yeah.
bad of that.
Well, yeah, we'll
We
improve.
missed all that. Too bad. No.
It was
No,
just,
it was
there was a
very
lot.
good. There's just a
Well
lot.
attended.
There's
It was
more,
Well attended.
probably more than we planned for staff.
More and more communities are doing that just to,
Yeah.
not safe to be running around the road. So we may want to get used to the new norm.
We're working on some of
I
the
think
parking
it was
issues.
10 times, 100-fold, promotional night out.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah, it was our largest crowd ever.
Oh, yeah, it was crazy.
Never mind, who said it better? Never mind.
It was crazy.
A lot of people and a lot more kids. They definitely have good times.
You'd have been in trouble if it wasn't for your wife helping you out. He
Yeah,
was
that's
handing out
true.
candy. He was getting hammered over there.
Anything else, Derek? No, okay. So then I threw in, so we had asked Parks Rec and Greenway to kind of give us an updated landscape around Village Hall plan. And Jennifer Castellucci sent this to me and to the board and Derek. And I just wanted to give you guys just a quick glance at it and to see if we're even like on the right list. And if we're not, then let me know. But I mean, to me, and this is obviously not what I do, but if this is what the building's like gonna look like, I mean, this looks awesome.
Well, I would like to know what, so there's a plant
There's a
list that
plant list.
corresponds with all the,
Yeah.
okay, well, I have not had a chance to review this, so I'll give you.
I know, it's new. I just wanted to throw this on here so you guys could at least like look at it so that PRG has not seen this, that we have not discussed it. Nobody's done anything. I just wanted to give you guys a quick, if we're like kind of in the right ballpark or not.
The only thing I would comment in is I would definitely want, whatever we do, because I think this looks great. I like the colors and I like what I'm seeing with, in different times, what it's going to look like. I assume that's what they mean,
Yep.
but as you come in, the areas that require to be covered, like the big electrical box that's green against the white, would it be nice to have something there? I know that would block your
There is.
There is.
view,
Something there.
but
If you
I
go-
can't tell with
See
that.
the tall green thing next to the building? That's an evergreen.
And that's going to cover that whole thing?
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, there's.
Oh, those, the GGs, okay. And also, let's consider some of the other areas that are eyesores, if you will, like the generator. I know we talked about a fence there.
She's
but-
got some
Okay.
Yeah.
in there too.
Alright.
So again, this is, again, Parks Rec and Greenway has not seen this. This was more of, I don't want to get too far down the road and you guys be like, what in the world is happening? So I just wanted to give you a quick look at it and then you guys can just look at it and then let me know before the next Parks Rec and Greenway meeting if you like it or don't like it.
No.
Yeah. All right, that's it.
Quickly look at it. Okay.
I think it looks awesome, but that's just me.
Next up, we have consent agenda. I need a motion to approve the consent agenda as amended.
So move.
All those in favor?
I,
Motion passes. Public hearings, we have none. Village Hall. Going on here? We got,
Austin,
is it working?
what's going on with the AV?
Okay, so I don't know what's.
nothing's happening. We're good. Move on. Jamie's saying move on.
So,
Oh, the weather vane. Christina, weather vane.
yeah,
It's on there.
It's on for us
Did
to
he
talk about
finish
here.
My question? I asked
Who?
him about the process of the AV
Oh,
equipment.
sorry.
That's Village Hall and he was trying to answer.
Sorry. Well, I just looked and saw weather vane because I thought we were moving on.
It's really briefly, so we've been held up because we've had to get an electrician in here to hardwire this screen and to remove those two sensors to the left and the right and remove that firelight. We finally got the electrical work scheduled. We They've been holding us up. They're coming in on December 1st. So 2 weeks or so from now. So once that's out of the way, I can get the AV people back in here to finish and then we should be operational.
So have the components come in?
There's still like 2 parts that won't be in until probably Q1 of next year, but we'll be fully we'll have all the capabilities in a few weeks. But once those last 2 parts come in, it'll just make everything a little more convenient.
Okay. All right. Very good.
Weather vane.
Weather vane.
So I'll take this. So in our previous wayfinding and branding meeting, the committee is talking about a revised seal that has Village Hall on it. And in that depiction of Village Hall, they were discussing, well, it looks, naturally there needs to be a weather vane on top of the building. So what does that look like? Obviously, if it's a logo, it's going to be very small. You won't be able to really tell what it is. But our designers have agreed, if you guys put a weather vane up there, we'll change it to match. So this is just kind of to put this back on your radar, talk about what you want to see, what you guys want to do. They do have a vendor out of South Carolina, out of Lancaster, that can do custom work for us if we want something specific.
Do we want to tie in are you referring to our branding people?
Mhm.
Okay. So throwing it out there, opinion of one. What about just a big M for Marvin on top? Just throwing it out there. No chickens,
I want a rooster.
no roosters, no rooster gate,
Oh, come on now.
no horses. I don't know how you represent Cotton Farm, but that's what Marvin was 100 years ago.
Who,
Cotton Farms,
man,
so,
why don't we just do the same thing as we have on the barn?
which is what?
Well, okay, yeah, no, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
You were here at every meeting, apparently. We
but,
learned a
okay,
lot
but
about
we could
that.
do the same thing as we have on the barn, but exchange it for Joe's suggestion.
I'm just throwing it
Just
out
do
there.
the east, west, north, south. Why don't you just do
It's a
like,
big M. I mean.
sure, with a big M in the middle that spins when
Yeah, there
it's
we go.
windy
I'm okay
outside.
with
It
that.
works.
I'm okay with it. I just don't think we need.
All right,
this
so
whole-
Austin,
What do you think?
north, south, east, west with a big M that spins in the middle when it's
Wendy?
windy. So can you talk to whoever is the custom people? Perfect.
Sounds good. All right.
Okay. Next up, unfinished business, discussion of pavement condition studies. Guess that's why you guys are here, right? Finally there. Sorry taking so long. Take a quick, we did order dinner. We've been here since 3:30, so apologize. Do you want to take a quick? or you
Yeah,
wanna
this
do it
is, this
individually?
part's gonna be pretty long. If y'all want to grab your food, you could probably eat.
It's all labeled?
Okay.
All right, so take a quick
5 minute.
2-minute
Austin,
recess
can you hear me?
while they're getting set up.
Yeah.
We'll
Austin,
have to get with you.
Austin. Austin.
So I was trying to.
Austin, you can't hear me, can you?
Yeah, I know.
It's just a little bit needy, but that's okay.
There's just some,
And Bob. Yep. I would offer you some, but you can't have them. Oh, you're not? Well, come get an onion ring then. So she declines anyway. Okay. The little skinny guy.
You want another one from me?
Yeah, that is a little bit off. Just slightly. It's just slightly. Should have worked extra hard. I never think about these things.
Need a motion to,
Christina, we're ready? Okay,
Oh,
we're coming
okay.
back into open session. We're ready.
Thank you, Doug.
all right.
Okay, y'all ready?
Yep, we're ready.
So we're going to address a couple of things. The first thing with this discussion is that we wanted to go over the pavement condition survey. This is something that's inside of our street acceptance policy where we basically redo this plan every roughly 5 years. And what we do from this plan is project out what roads we're going to add some pavement preservation techniques to over the course of the next 8 to 10 years. So Mike just went out and redid his study. The last study that we did was conducted in 2019, if I remember correctly. And he just went through the last couple of months and read every street, took down the conditions of the streets. And so he's prescribed basically a method over the course of the next 10 years in which he, as you know, a third-party consultant, our engineer, decides what is the best route to go in terms of preventative maintenance to preserve the integrity of our roads. Aside from that, he's also looked at all the DOT roads as well as private roads. This is kind of a part of a bigger discussion that we've been having about geo bonds and looking at the possibility of going out for geo bonds to service more roads, bring more roads into the system and potentially add more amenities to our streets. So I'm going to turn it over to him first and foremost to kind of go over just a general overview of what his study consisted of. And then what we'll do is go through the Powell bill map that I just sent around. So you can start looking at that if you want to, but basically what we're going to do is pick out what roads we want to really talk about in terms of taking over. Is it going to be all the red roads that you see, or is it going to be a portion of those red roads that are on this map? Everything that you see that's red is state maintained roads. Everything that you see is blue is village maintained roads. So I'll turn it over to you, Mike, and you can go from there unless y'all have questions. Probably.
All right, I'm gonna, Bob needs to leave, so I'm gonna make a motion to excuse Bob at 6:41 PM. Joe?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, just tell me when you're ready.
Okay, basically, if the other job that we're here in 2019, what guidelines as we did there, and it's kind of runs off. And that was recommendations there too. We're comparing apples to apples. See, we've done the roadway preservation, non-system roadways, and Village of Morgan. We did the Greenway. I guess y'all seen what we done the fog seal on the gun. And the roadway plan runs through 2029. The drainage structure preservation, that was from 2019. We haven't read So y'all could still do that as you needed to.
And I will say on this chart that you see here, back in 2020, I believe, so everything already addressed. So the only thing that is to be addressed on the curb and gutter and any of the miscellaneous concrete would be anything.
Okay. You're on slide.
Curb and gutter.
Go back, right there. Yeah, that one. Okay. Data. Couple, 3 years, y'all probably want to address it again. And, the drainage, doing a survey on it as well, because we have so many. It's aware of, yeah, property owners that they don't know who owns them. They're behind the properties and, they're hard to get to. That one is, the other curb and gutter. This right here is, which it explains we do the methodology of the distress is the same as DOT. And this is a pretty good scorecard. If you look at 2019, these ratings, poor, fair, and good. 0 to 60 is poor. 2019, we're at 7.3%. So with what we've been at, now we're at 2.82%, which is a big increase. Fair went 6.93 to 7.04. So overall, you're good. Column went from 85.11 to 90.14.
Are these garbage roads or both?
Village. And everybody would beg to have a 90 plus score on average. This map, I think you handed these out.
Something similar, very similar.
And these are the maps that showing the village maps, the payment index is described by color.
So the red being the worst here.
Right.
The maps that you guys have are different than that. The red reflects DOT roads. This is just what roads are bad ones.
Right.
Which is the DOT roads?
They have, there's the really bad roads for DOT out here. But hopefully they're gonna address some of those this year. We'll get to some of that here in a minute.
So anything not green is bad.
Right. This is the Martin plan. It goes from 2023 to 2029. And for the most part, it's gonna be preventive type maintenance, be crack sealing and fog sealing. But you really don't have any roads that's to the point that we need to go in and do full net patching and resurfacing, and that's what you want to stay away from as long as you can.
You have the totals.
It'll be on another sheet. This is the state road plan. We didn't list this. We're waiting to see what y'all decide as far as working with DOT to try to take some of these roads and to see what DOT participation may be. The ones highlighted in green on the left is the ones they have earmarked to do a cap still on this year. And hopefully that'll happen.
It's that first year. So every time it was a good year. That first year, what year is that?
2023.
23, so next year. Recommendation. $204,000 more. You did every other year.
Right.
So it's roughly $200,000 every other year.
That's the worst. This is the trouble.
And did you include inflation in these numbers as they press up?
But last one, that's the private roads. And some of those will actually be addressed by developers before they go on the Marvin system. Some of them won't be.
So this is good information as well, because y'all have had a lot of requests over the last probably 2 years where some of these private roads have come and asked if we could bring the roads into our system. So this kind of gives you a good understanding of how much it would cost to bring those roads in. And what we would do is make an assessment of those properties if the property owners wanted to have that road installed. Question, why are some of the numbers not there, like Huntley Drive, for example?
Because that's the ones, that are private, that's something you can't get into. Some of these guys.
What is it, so, well, Huntley is a gravel road, so what would it cost to pave a road fresh? Yeah, I mean, it's a gravel road, so.
It just depends on how bad it is. If I remember that right, it's got real poor drainage on it. And it's 2100s. You typically get right away. You don't have a lot of utility relocations. Probably 300,000 a mile. So if you've got a quarter mile, you can kind of figure that. The shorter it gets, the more expensive it gets. And that's just ballpark, because
Okay.
you never know what you're going to run into with utilities, drainage, permit. A lot of times you just can't get right of it.
Right.
Some people just don't want to sign.
Robinwood is another private, but I don't see it here. Robinwood Drive, I think you might want to add that. Robinwood's across from the elementary school.
This is the spreadsheet Chris wanted us to do this for the state roads. It's going to give you basically the same thing as your our program for the Marvin roads. This is DOT, is what we're recommending that those roads would need. Now, if we can get DOT on the same page and get them to help schedule some of this, hopefully as they address some of these problems, y'all be able to add them to your system, if that's what y'all intend to do.
So this is going to be a really big talking point of our discussions for the jail bond, because once we decide what roads we want to take in for these connector roads, this will tell us how much that road is going to cost us to bring it up to today's standard. DOT we're still working on a number that they feel comfortable with in terms of, and Philip can speak to this more. We had a conversation with them the latter part of October, where we were speaking in terms of what number they felt comfortable doing something with, in terms of the rating that he's mentioning, the 0 to 60, the 60 to 80, the 90 and above. And their number we're recollecting at 70. I think that they're going to have a recommendation is anything 80 and below they fix. Anything, 79 and below they fix. 80 and above, that's where we draw the line in the sand, and we say we're comfortable taking that over without you doing anything. So these are going to be really good talking points for that discussion as to what number is 79 and below, so we can kind of try to negotiate with them what type of agreement we want to get in writing for them to do those streets. and then so that we know what our liability is on the 80 above. Does that make sense?
It's on the actual program. You'll have it, it's y'all can scroll through it. This is just part of it.
79 below. So, he added up the numbers for the 70 and below, 79 and below. It's 9 miles. So 10 miles, 10 miles of road that we would ask DOT to go ahead and resurface at this dollar amount. And then the rest, which is roughly probably another 10 miles, we had 16 miles of residential for DOT, and then you add the connector road, so you're probably looking another 10 miles that they would give us.
But where are the ratings for the roads? Like, if I want to know what Marvin Road's rated, where's the rating?
You'll see. This, and that's at the 80 threshold. The reason we think that should be the cutoff, anything below that's gonna require some maintenance. Anything above that, we can address with preventing, with the crack seal and the fog seal and things of that nature.
So there's another spreadsheet. It's the actual ratings that y'all normally are used to that have every single street, every single rating, and then the dollar amount associated with that. We'll bring that up in just a second. And we're not asking for any action on any of these. Y'all will have those sheets so you can actually look at them in your agenda packet so you can see those. That will be a part of the discussion that we have about what streets we want to look at.
Do I not have it in my packet, or do I?
You do not. We just got it today.
Oh, okay.
I can get Austin to go print it if you guys want to see it hard copy.
I was just looking for it. I'm just gonna stop looking for it then. That's fine. You'll give it to us and then I'm sure we'll peruse it in a work session.
Oh, did you add it? Oh.
Okay. So it's in the packet.
Attachment was called.
There was 3 attachments.
One of them's plan improvements.
I hope it's not this one where it's like half and then half. Yeah, because whatever I'm looking at, I have like,
We should have Marvin plan, Marvin plan 2329.
oh, I have that.
Now,
But then the next two that I have like half of it, and then 4 slides down, I have the second half of it. So I can't put them together.
That's,
It's an issue on our end. It's a technical issue.
that's the PowerPoint, the slide you're looking, or the program you're looking for is an Excel.
I think it's the way it uploaded into our system. Austin's gonna go print a couple. But we'll get that ready to you in just a second. Mike,
Yeah, go down to, get down to slide 11, 12. Get down. This is the Excel sheet, or it's on an Excel sheet. That will allow y'all to go through, and I think Chris Tanner was wanting to be able to get in a clinic and manipulate roads, adding curb, adding bike lanes, things like that, sidewalk. What this does will allow you to go through there, and it's gonna give you a dollar amount if it's something you think you wanna do on a road. You can click on it, and as you add it up, it's gonna, it'll go to the total of that road if you want to do those improvements. And I left the recommendations over on the side, mainly because you don't want to go in and add a curb to a road unless you're getting ready to go in and do something to that road. And you definitely don't want to get to it just after you resurface, because you're gonna tear the edges back in.
Okay, so the last slide, we'll just do.
That's just,
Yeah. So we can go, so two things, in the prescribed, schedule that I had sent out when we first started talking about geo bonds, I had proposed that we have a special meeting in December to really talk about the maps, that spreadsheet that he was just referring to, so you could play with it live and add curb and gutter, add bike lanes, whatever you guys wanted to do. So we can either do that now, or we can schedule a special meeting sometime in December to go over it in more detail if y'all, however y'all feel. And then we could look at things live as we're.
We have two people missing.
Yeah.
I'd like to be able to look at the information
So
and then maybe do like,
Special meeting.
yeah,
And I'd like to have everyone
Absolutely.
present.
me too.
So, okay. Okay, we can, yeah, well, you and I can talk about that. So tonight's study is, Austin will pass that out. Y'all can take it home and look through it. You do, but we'll get all this stuff together in a better packet for you before we have a special meeting. But we'll go ahead and schedule that meeting in December. And if y'all want to start looking at those Powellville maps that I passed out and just kind of exiting roads that you feel like you want to cover, then what we'll do is play with that sheet live so we can add those amenities. Is there anything specific that you wanted aside from that?
unless you just gonna go for it.
There you go, Joe. I think you can read that.
Thank you. No. Do y'all want to go over the spreadsheet now?
No,
This is so much.
That's what they passed. It's not, I'll get it to you. I'll look at what,
am I looking at the PCS score?
that's the payment condition.
Is that,
Yeah, if you look at PCS score for more than the first,
81.8. So you said they said that they would do anything at a 79 and below?
That's what the goal would be.
this is village rights.
What, this one right here, the yellow is not.
Oh, she looking at it.
I am looking at the yellow.
So, yes, that's,
So the goal for us would be to communicate to DOT that we would really like for them to get anything 79 and below done, and then we take it over.
How about 85?
We can shoot for wherever y'all want. I think Philip feels comfortable with 80. I seem to think that 70 is going to be there.
Well, if we don't ask, they won't say no. So it could be a yes
Could be.
and no.
we get to 75, we start at 70.
That's true.
I say we go with 85.
85 is not an acceptable score in the schools, so.
That's
That's what I hear.
That's what I hear. So we should, 85 is what we should shoot for.
Can you get with Cancel via email about a special meeting in December, like a work session? Say again? No, if you just email them after tomorrow morning or something. All right, you guys good?
Have you
You good?
driven it
Okay.
lately? That little stretch that they skipped when they repaved Waxaw Marvin Road fell apart the year after.
It's in really bad shape.
It is. They skipped that section when they repaved. They skipped it and then they started going back through Waxaw and they repaved the whole thing.
Yeah.
So they're gonna be cape sealing, what's Providence, not Providence, Providence Ridge, and then, Valhalla Farms this year. So that should be taking place in the next couple of months. That's another 2.5 miles that will be added to our system once that's done. So, so that would be preventative maintenance, like a fog seal or something, just to make sure that,
Generally, around 3 to 4 years, On some of these subdivision streets we're doing, it may last a good bit longer because it just depends on the amount of traffic. So it may last a good bit longer. But the thing is, when you have the cracks in the surface of the roadway and you put this sealant that keeps the water out of the subgrade of the road, and you can just prolong the life of the asphalt so much easier. And you're doing it for pennies on the dollar, compared to going in and doing.
So it's, so you got some of the price, just thinking policy. Some of that's basically, you know, zero.
Basically, it runs out. You see the pastures on the right hand side?
Yes.
Okay, that's the year that they'll get that treatment. And some of them aren't on there. Some of them don't get a treatment under this program. That's right. 2029.
So if y'all just want to spend some time over the next couple of weeks until we meet again, looking over this roadway plan and just highlight some of the roads that you really want to look at, just making sure that we didn't miss anything. Y'all need to add, what was that one? Robinwood.
And keep in mind on the spreadsheet, improvements. The one that left in bad, curb gutters, sidewalks. And anything outside of the roadway is gonna be subject to right of way on these roads.
So they won't even look at that spreadsheet until we actually meet again. And what he's referring to is kind of the live spreadsheet that we're gonna play with, where we add a bike lane, we add a curb, we add a gutter, we add a, whatever. Y'all won't even look at that until we have a special meeting. But what he's referring to is if we make any of those additions that require any extension of like a bike lane, that he can't really guarantee you how much it's gonna cost for right of way acquisition or utility relocation. So when we get to that point of having that conversation, it's kind of a variable number that he's not really sure about.
And it might be to get 50 feet, recorded right away. Maybe you can go in and name the bike lane.
Do y'all have any specific questions for them tonight? Well, we're gonna talk about this a lot, so you'll have plenty of opportunity to ask questions. But in the meantime, we'll, get Austin to get some dates for us to reconvene for a special meeting on roads. Thank you.
Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, crap. Okay.
Next up on the finished business, we have discussion of favors for village.
I actually just asked Austin to add this to the agenda. I think you guys are okay with it. I just wanted, it was a little more than I thought it was. Just want to make sure you guys were good with, I think it was $1,700.
Yep, we're good with it.
So,
Okay.
oh, no, I made a note.
Damn it.
Just. $1,700. Why not have it paid for?
We can do that on the back end. I think the point that,
No, agree with you. Do it on the back. I just wanted to throw that. Sorry, I just wanted to throw that out to council that.
Yeah, I think we can
That-
definitely do that.
Just,
Oh, yeah, we're always in,
I know we were always in favor, but I wasn't sure if we were officially doing that.
I think we should. I thought that was kind of always our intent.
Okay, but there's not been a plan. Maybe that's something that, Derek, you can,
We'll bring back together a plan. I mean, it's simply just getting a sponsorship kind of platform together of how much it's gonna
Okay.
cost. And then-
Putting out like a thing, hey, if you'd like to,
You talking about like a buy a brick
yes.
type of?
exactly. I mean, there's no reason you can't do
Some of
that.
this was for dedication. That was kind of the point, was to engrave for dedication for
We can
people
do
who've done
both.
stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll get some discussion points and then we'll bring it back
You
to a
want
work
this?
session.
I mean, all I did was, my part, got the price.
Your homework
Did my homework.
took you forever.
I mean, you can take that off the list tonight.
Don't you worry, I already saw it.
All right. So we good there? Ben?
We're good, yeah. No, you guys, I mean, if you're fine with it, I'll just take it out of capital and then we'll work on the sponsorship on the back end and we'll bring that back. That's what we'll, Village Hall Capital.
Okay, yeah.
I'd mention Powellville, but that's,
You think that was funny.
he would. He's probably, Jamie, you're listening? Oh, yeah, catch him. He's gonna come on and give me a thumbs up. There it is.
What's happening in the background?
What's in your other hand? All right. Yeah. All right. Next up, we have Village Hall irrigation update. Who's got this?
Mr. Next. All I was gonna let you guys know is that, Water Saver Irrigation, the contracts have been signed with them and they are slated to start this week. Awesome. Could have been today, but it didn't happen.
Probably not gonna be.
It's not gonna be tomorrow. But,
Okay, so everything's in place and we're moving forward, correct?
correct.
No questions from council?
Who's been talking? Are you talking to them?
Maybe not so much as Andy. Councilman Workman.
Oh, I mean,
He's given his stamp of approval on everything. but I am the communicator
Okay, well,
between
I'm just,
parties.
we should ask them if they'd like to sponsor Marvin Day.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna let you do that.
Okay, so that'll be Andy. Perfect.
No,
You have the relationship.
I
All
don't.
of our vendors,
I met
AMC.
him one time. I don't know this guy. I'm sure they would be
One of the
open to the
friends.
idea. They
Okay.
are good community people.
Perfect. We should do that.
Do a lot of
Let's put it
business
on
in
the
the area.
list.
All right.
Anybody?
Next up, Parks and Master Plan update.
This is just information only. McAdams, who is the company that we have signed a contract with to do our Parks Master Plan, they've started their process of collecting and analyzing data. They had a tremendously successful public involvement meeting at the Trick or Treat in the Park event due to all the people that were there. I asked them if they could give us a number on how many people they thought came through, and all she could say was, we ran out of stickers. So, but yeah, they estimated, a couple hundred, stopped by the booth and, it was residents, non-residents, a good mix. The survey's gone out, and they want to leave that live for, probably through Christmas. But if you haven't gotten that sent to you, let me know. I'll get you a special copy sent your way. And they've also begun like a large data collection from staff on all things Parks and Rec. And they're reaching out to some other municipalities to help us with some benchmark goals. Municipalities that are just slightly larger that we may want to kind of have a goal of being like or having something similar to. So they have a special way of kind of diagnosing that, which is really neat. How can we take the next step, as we grow? So again, this is just an ongoing process and just keep you guys updated as things roll in.
Do we have any meetings scheduled for that?
No, not yet.
I responded to your email.
I saw it.
You didn't respond to me.
I didn't.
Okay.
Sorry.
So we're good?
We're good.
to the council, people that did not show up, you need to tell them how they did. They, got the people's idea of which ones to do it. I thought it was very creative. How you got their opinion of what they wanted there.
You were next to them all night. Why don't you tell them?
They had a board.
They had lots of boards.
That had all kinds of different things, and they gave you stickers, and you could put stickers on what you wanted to. And some of them, and this is, I don't know, 10, 11, 12, come and ask me, I said, ask him. And they found out that if something they really liked, they could put all their stickers on that one thing they had. But it was definitely, got a lot of interaction with it.
Good. Perfect. Love it.
I thought it was an excellent way of getting people involved. And the small ones too, that saw things that they want.
Very good.
Is that it?
Oh, that's it.
So the survey's still available, right?
Yes.
It's online
Yes.
and anyone can answer them as multiple times, or how are we controlling that?
No, I'm pretty sure I put a block on it where, I mean, you can do it, but it won't submit. Let's put it that way.
How will you know?
When I created it, it had a thing for allow this account to only submit one time.
It tracks it by IP address more than likely.
Email.
Okay.
Email.
There could be IP from non-Marvin people as well, right?
It could be, yes, because I did it.
But how does it track it by email? 'Cause I didn't put my email in.
I did it more than once, and when I went back to the responses, the number of responses had not changed. So somehow
It knows.
it knows.
It's fine. Okay. Good job. Thank you.
Blindly trusting.
Next up, new business. Yeah, I said my mouth, sorry.
Anybody have any changes in new business? I mean,
Any changes in new business? We're going to start with review and consider adoption of council minutes from the 10/27/22 work session. Any changes?
So these are on your agenda because we don't have work sessions in November and December. So just to keep the minutes rolling out.
I was good with the minutes as well. Anyone else? Comments?
Good.
Andrew,
Good.
Jamie,
Jamie's good.
good. All right, so you need a motion to approve these?
I do.
Make a motion to approve the work session, minutes from 10/27/22.
All's in favor? Motion passes. Jamie just gave me a thumbs up. All right.
Jamie is paying attention.
Discussion. Next up, we have discussion and consideration of dunk tank
Yeah.
cash fees for Marvin Day 2023. This is sponsored by
Okay.
Mayor Pro Tem, who will be on the bench the whole night.
I already said I would do it. Did I not, Jill?
You did,
did.
after saying Mayor Polino would probably spend the most time on the dunk tank hot
I
seat.
can't get my hair wet.
I'll get you a shower cap.
The mayor in the shower cap. I love it.
So, okay, okay, first of all, before I get into that, I just want to give you a quick update. In the interest of capitalizing on strengths and better time management, Derek and I have sort of swapped roles when it comes to Marvin Day. So I am taking over being like the main project coordinator for Marvin Day. He's taken something quite large off my plate in exchange, and he's still very much involved, but will be primarily coordinating on the facilities, operations, parking type of side. So the subcommittee already knows this, but just for council at large, it's just going to be better for both of us for that standpoint. So that's, got my name right
Congratulations on
there.
your new role.
Okay, so skipping over that, dunk tank. The thought was to rent a dunk tank for the entire day. We have quotes for this, and the subcommittee has kind of already voted to approve that. What we need you all to discuss and consider is whether or not we're going to charge money for the people to be able to get, pay $10, get 3 balls, go dunk your least favorite council. Just kidding.
I say,
Can you get 2 side by side? You get your choice?
Well, that's a little expensive, but our goal would be for y'all to have shifts. So you would just be assigned a shift, whoever is, game to go in it.
can we smack talk while we're up on the?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you-
That's how you.
I just want to make sure that's,
How you get more money?
I know. So here's what I would suggest. Here's what
Okay.
I would suggest, because we got a lot of good ball players in Marvin and stuff. So anyone under 10, free?
No. Oh.
But adults,
All day long.
huh?
I said, my son will be there all day long if you do that.
Check that.
That's fine. He gets throw to
I'm
you for
trying
free.
to,
Nope
especially if
way.
they're throwing at her, it's free. In fact, maybe
Mine should be double.
maybe I'll help fund it.
Okay, hold on. Who would be willing to do it? You can't do it with your arm.
Wait, by next June, he can't be in a dunk tank because of his arm? Oh, you're sweet.
Bum
Okay.
wing.
Okay.
I'm in.
Can't mess his hair up.
Looks like everybody's done.
Come on, y'all.
Do clerks get a discount on throwing?
No, you're gonna be up there if nobody else volunteers, so you better.
He's gonna put you back in the elf costume too.
I
Yeah.
volunteer.
Elf on the shelf.
You'll
Come on, Andy.
volunteer to do it,
Yes, I'll do
Andy?
the Shift.
Okay, Jamie,
Jamie?
you gonna be in for the dunk tank?
We should be able to hear him now, by the way. I fixed something.
I know, but he's.
Thank you for signing up, Jim.
Perfect. Jamie said he'll take all
Oh,
day.
yeah, when you're not here.
Perfect.
Oh, wait. You know what happens when we excuse them? They are a yes vote, are they not?
No.
All right, so I'll just say this.
Excuse Bob, so he is no longer a yes vote.
The expectation is everyone but Wayne right now will have a scheduled time slot in the dunk tanks. If anyone has a problem with that, you can speak up when you get your assignments for Marvin Day. How's
So
that?
excited.
Towels and a blow dryer.
Yes.
This is a blow dryer.
I'm so excited about this. You guys have no idea.
Yeah, exactly.
This is
Yes.
amazing.
Bob's
All right,
definitely gonna need
so
a blow
much
dryer.
fun.
And
He can-
are y'all comfortable with the subcommittee kind of deciding how much to charge and the logistics of how to take payment and make all that work without coming back to y'all for that?
Y'all handle it.
More importantly, where's the money going towards?
Marvin Day.
Marvin Day.
Oh, that's it. No.
It's going towards getting your hair done after.
I mean, look at it. It's well coiffed
I do
right
my
now.
own hair.
We can tell.
It's obvious, right?
So-
No, I was thinking maybe, we can't do the good cause because we're
No.
public, yeah.
It's gonna go to Marvin Day. People are gonna do it just to put you in the dang water.
I think they'll be coming for you,
That's fine. I'm in.
just saying.
I will take it and I will talk smack to the whole time.
Can we have microphones?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, can we? I need like the DJ, we need to be near the DJ booth so we can be like, oh, you guys are chicken. Come down.
No, you need a loudspeaker.
Yeah, loudspeaker. We're one of those little handheld.
Okay, with the DJ
They
man.
can't get wet though.
Yeah.
We
Well,
get electrical
figure it
shock
out.
and
Okay,
then
all
die.
right, we're all in.
Just put them up there on top.
Okay.
They can scream there.
Moving on to the next
All
one.
right, next up.
All right. So the Marvin Eford PM Working Group, which is the concert and kind of adult fun group, would like to have beer and wine kind of trucks, food trucks at,
So
Mark, for
just
the
to be
con-
official, we're moving on to the next item.
she already said it.
No, we started talking and then she realized. we
Tim
were
runs
on a-
these meetings. You just
So,
sit there.
we're
and
not
look
sure who
pretty.
runs them. Next up, discuss and consider approval of beer and wine sales at Marvin Day 2022.
I'll learn, I promise.
No, it's okay. I like how you're rolling, man. It's speeding and no problem.
Exactly. Okay, so the PM group would like to have this. They've run it by the subcommittee. We all voted yes. Now it's your turn to let us know if you would approve this. If so, we could start trying to source these trucks. Of course, we will get all required permits and approvals from the county and everywhere else, but
Has to sign it.
yes. So how do we feel about
Really?
this being at Marvin Day for the
in
evening
that cup.
portion? Maybe, I think the subcommittee decided like around 4 o'clock, they would be ready to go.
And Chaplain, no liability concerns or?
You'll have insurance, and is this going to be at the Park on Village property? Okay, with it being on Village property, we talked about, we have kind of strange language where it says you can have it for permitted events, and we probably want to tweak our thing where you can approve and you have to have permits, but permits will always be required, as will the insurance. But if you want to move forward with this on Village property, where this might be more of a regular thing, it's just minor tweaks that Christina and I talked about, I think, last year that are pretty simple to update the ordinance, make it clearer. But no, this is, there's no prohibition against municipalities having it. And there's certainly insurance, but that's what it's there for. And I'd require all the vendors to have it.
Bootlegger.
Yeah.
You know how I feel because I'm on the subcommittee. I'm all for it. So, oh,
I'm good with it, as long as, Chaplain and Christina get together on the ordinance. That's good.
Any chance we could highlight maybe some local breweries that are close by as if we do a beer thing?
Yep.
Okay,
Just send us your suggestions if you have it and we'll work on it.
okay.
Yes.
I don't need a vote, do
I
I?
put one in here if you guys want to.
Oh, you did? Okay.
So I'll make a motion to approve beer and wine sales at Marvin Day 2023
So moved.
From approved license and insured vendors.
from approved licensed and insured vendors.
Further discussion, all's in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, I see, I didn't want further discussion. Thank you.
He's not voting. That means he is getting volunteer forever.
Put Jamie's name down for the dog.
All right, Jill, before we move on to your next, no, I'm just kidding. Consider waiving the 2 quote requirement and entering contract with DL Mollis Well Drilling for the installation of, what's that?
So this
Can
is
I
the
read?
well.
Of the well to be installed at Marvin Gardens Pocket
Yeah, so we've
Park at a cost
exhausted all
not to
the
exceed TBD.
There.
We've exhausted, yeah, we've exhausted, we've
So-
exhausted options to tap into the HOAs.
Yeah, did we
And
check with the
we did, and they don't
publics
have one,
and all
yeah.
that? Okay, so we definitely have to have a well.
Yeah, and the reason the quote is kind of ambiguous is because they, as you know, they only charge for what they drill and we don't know when they're gonna, get to water. So the last time we did this was here and they kept, once they would go a certain number of feet, they kept calling and I had to authorize more every couple of minutes.
Right.
So, I would probably put a good contingency in this one just because we don't know if that's gonna happen. I don't know if you have any commentary
What
on.
did we spend here?
I think it was 17 here, I believe.
And that was maximum that they wanted to go to, if I remember correctly. They
I
said.
think so, yeah.
Yeah. So if we cap it at 18,
Well, I don't know if their prices have changed because it looks like,
The quote is more than that.
yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh,
the
really?
prices are- And it's the same vendor.
Gee.
It's
So the pricing may have
Grand
changed. I mean,
total
that
for
was,
pump and tank installations or for a 6-inch well, is that inch?
yes.
Well, no.
It's 1,000 for the well.
23, 6-inch, yeah, 6-inch well casing. 23,000, good God.
Yeah.
Pumps
We're in
and
the wrong
tanks.
business, Andy.
11,000, okay, 11,000 for the well,
23, yeah.
and then,
Yeah, it's cost for
Oh, there.
drilling the well, but then.
so yeah, the pump and the tank, it looks like it's another 11,000. So for the drilling itself here was 17, if I remember correctly. I don't know if you can pull that up real quick,
So
Jill.
they're charging $11,000 for a pump and a tank?
It says grand total for pump and tank installations, 11,655 for a grand total of 23,000.
That seems very high.
You think it's double
You got a guy?
accidentally?
No, but I mean, they just drilled our well last year. The price can't have doubled in a year. Sorry. There's got to be something wrong with their quote.
We're gonna she's gonna try to pull it real quick to see if she can find that
There's
exact
something
number.
wrong with that quote, because it was a year ago that we had this one done, and they went down 300 feet,
And what was their price? 12 total?
17 total.
Oh, this is not double then. Add 6,000?
No, that was drilling down 300 feet. They kept adding and adding. The original quote was lots lower than that last year.
Andy, this one says 500 feet.
500 feet?
It says any drilling over 500 feet is $22 a foot.
Right, after that, it says lost or dry hole, and if a well produces no yield, and then it goes.
And they're talking about like a 3 horsepower.
She's been good
Oh,
about,
okay.
responding to me and
Something's not.
helping me
Yeah,
understand
because-
this process. I'll be glad to call her and get a better explanation. I don't know if.
Yeah,
you
I'd
want
like
them
to see a better
Well-
idea of that quote, because this one didn't cost that much, and this one was deep.
So
'cause
why
they
don't,
had to keep going deeper.
why don't we find out what we actually pay them, get that information to Derek, and then he can at least be armed with that before he calls.
I mean, and 500 feet and a 3 horsepower pump, I highly doubt that we're gonna need that. So,
I know, but still, regardless, like, that's still like crazy.
yeah, that's what I'm saying, that's
Yeah.
500 feet and a 3 horsepower pump, that's extreme. I doubt we're gonna have to get to that depth.
But
So it was 17,000. We don't know exactly what that was for. We don't know if it was for the drilling and the other parts. She's gonna try to look it up real quick. It was 17 for that, whatever that includes, and then it was another 11 for the electric to go there. So
11,000 to put power in there?
that's what we paid here.
Wait a minute. We paid 11,000 for power here for what?
Hang on. I'll have to look it back up. Hang on one second. So the well, 500 feet.
200 feet. That's similar to 400 feet at 8,000.
Yeah, gone up just a little bit. The 11,000 for the tank installation is what's confusing. Why do we need a tank? Why do we need a tank?
There has to be a bladder tank, so, well, I don't know that we need one because it's irrigation only, so we shouldn't have to have a bladder tank. It should, because the pump runs constant when the irrigation is on and it shuts off. It doesn't cycle
So
like you would on house.
was
So-
7,500 for the actual drilling, and then it was additional 5,000 for extra drilling, and the tank was $1,000. Pressure control was $2,000. And then that looks like the gist of it.
Why don't we do a little bit of talking with these folks? I'm gonna ask some questions. The other thing is, so you said power was 11,000 for a drop?
That's what was recorded in one of our sheets.
But that was for here, right?
Yes.
Okay, well, so we need like a residential drop over there. It should not be that much, not even nearly that much.
Just a meter on the post, right?
Yeah, it's a meter on a post and a 200 amp service. And that
Yeah,
would be-
I vaguely remember them having to run a line from the building all the way over there, and
There's a power line right there at the road. We can drop it right in and then run whatever.
We can put
But
15.
there's a lot of questions that need to be asked.
So let's do some more research.
Yeah.
Bring it back to us in December.
Yeah. Let's do that.
It's not gonna, I know they said they were about, what'd they say, about 3 weeks out? What'd they say, Derek? What did I see there?
They're 10 to 12, so.
10 to 12.
Okay, so we got time.
Yeah, I apologize. Some of this
Oh, it's okay.
lingo for well installations is not
It's okay.
what I'm.
Let's get some
There's some
clarification.
questions that we need to
Yeah.
ask anyway, so.
so the change order is for gas piping, risers, back up for just a second. Labor, equipment, materials, plumbing, grading, additional grading, so it was, you can go back down now. It's not just electric, it was a little bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah, the electric was 2,700, plumbing was 6,000. It could, that change order could encompass various things.
2,700, that was dropping a line from the building to the well, that far out.
And then grading was 32, it looks like.
Have we gotten a quote from Union Power on
Okay.
a drop? We're
On
gonna
the
have to get power from the pole.
Say that one more time.
We're gonna need to get power from the pole, so we can get a price from Union Power on getting a power source over there on a pole, getting a meter set. 'Cause we gotta have-
We have not gotten that.
We're gonna have to get that. And then from that, I guess probably the ideal thing would be to figure out where they're gonna drill the well, and then if we can get the pole set close to it, so we don't have that much wire to run from the source to the well.
Okay, Derek, you and I can have a conversation, and if y'all want us to bring this back, we can, or if you want to try to get us to give some guidance for what you want us to negotiate on with them to figure out, why the cost is so high.
Less money.
Right, where it's at.
So,
I mean, that's crazy.
I mean, if you guys are fine with it, I'll get with Derek and Christina and kind of follow up on this, and then we can discuss it. Do you want to discuss it again on the December meeting once we have all the info together? Does that work?
Sure.
They're 10 to 12 weeks out on drilling.
So do we still want to consider waiving the 2 quote
No.
requirement?
I want more information before I do that.
Okay.
Let's just get some more.
So moving on,
So we'll bring it back.
okay?
Yeah.
Moving on, next up, a discussion consideration of Huntley Drive takeover. Help me.
I forgot to bring in the tax forms. I've got a printout on my desk. If you don't mind, you know what it looks like, right? We've had some requests. Huntley Drive is off of Waxaw Marvin, very small little private road. I think it's 0.2 miles. We've had a request consistently from an individual in, on that street who's had, issues done to issues with his car, and he's just trying to figure out how he can single-handedly take over that road. He's willing to pay for it. The problem is the road is currently under ownership of a private individual, and he just has not paid taxes and since 2015. Taxes are very low. It's less than $20 a year. So there's been some conversation if we were willing to take over that road. Thank you. He hasn't paid taxes since 2015. The taxes at that time were $19.31 per year, and they've subsequently declined every year by roughly $1. So, I mean, we're talking probably $100, $200 of a tax lien that he has not paid. So, in order to help this resident out, there's been some discussion about potentially going ahead and going through with the foreclosure process to get the road and have a secondary agreement with that individual that says that he would reimburse the village whatever cost. Another one of those agreements, to bring the road up to our standards. So let y'all discuss it, but just keep in mind that it is setting precedent for other people to come and ask the same question. So,
And how much are we gonna pay for this?
well, that was the question that we had asked when the AMT was here. He said roughly 300,000 per mile. That road, was 0.21 miles.
So about
And-
75,000.
And he wants us to pay for it, or he's gonna pay for it?
He says that he's willing to pay. I don't know if he knows exactly how much it costs, but I think it's just really a matter of just starting the
So it's
conversation.
just us trying to facilitate it for
Yes.
him?
Yes.
So the bottom line is because the guy that owns the road hasn't paid tax on it for
We can
7
foreclose?
years, we can petition the county to foreclose on it, take possession of the property, the easement. We can then pave it and then they can reimburse us for the cost of the paving.
Who takes ownership of the property? Marvin does or the county does?
The county would do the foreclosure process. They would ask us to pay for the attorney fees, whatever they are. And then
And this individual said that they would be willing to pay those attorney's fees.
we have not had that conversation with him. This is all just kind of high level
Would be-
discussions.
But it would be in our roadway system at that point. He would pay for the paving, but it would be a Marvin Road.
Let's go back to why we're doing this, because the resident not do certain things.
Resident can't get anywhere with the property owner himself. He's called, you guys just kind of, he wants the road.
Big road.
Yeah. And the guy's Marcus Williams, I think he's come to a couple of council, meetings.
Planning board.
Is right to that.
He-
It's okay.
He could, and he lives in Florida, so he probably don't care.
He lives where?
Florida. And he has no other property on that street. I think it's kind of similar, I think, to what happened at Meadowlark as a developer came in on the road for whatever reason and just maintained that ownership until something like this happened. I think something similar to this happened with the HOA. So just, food for thought, if y'all want to go down that road, we can have the conversation with the property owner that is been inquiring about this, but wanted to first and foremost see if you guys were even interested in it, and if so, we can check with him to see if he's willing to pay for the road, or if he wants to facilitate an assessment process with all of his neighbors, where we would do the linear footage charge and do basically an assessment on each tax bill. But y'all have had that conversation before. Robin Wood inquired, I want to say about a year ago, maybe it was even 2 years ago. Banyan Way or Sandalwood, one of those Providence estates, even asked the same question. They've actually since today, they're repaving their roads themselves today. One of the Providence estates, one of the dirt roads down there. So.
Okay. We would need a vote on this then? Are we prepared to make a vote on it, or do we want to talk to the resident?
If the resident is planning on paying for everything and the village is not going to be out any money and we're just facilitating it, I'm fine moving forward, finding out if the resident's okay, like on board with paying for everything.
So,
If they're not on board for paying with everything, then it's more of a discussion, but I'd like to at least find that out.
and my understanding is we haven't had that discussion yet,
Correct.
so well, let's have that discussion and bring it back up. Okay. All right. Moving forward, we will go into discussion and consideration of Randolph Landscaping. Oh, well, that's off. Yep. Next up, we have discuss and consider entering contract with Central Iowa Regional Council to conduct the staffing and salary analysis in an amount not to exceed $5,000 and authorize to execute the contract. Help me.
And this is going to get us all the salary stuff we need.
Staffing.
Well, isn't our thingy going to do park stuff? Okay.
Reasonable number?
So we're getting more out of it. Okay. All right. So I'll make a motion to enter into a contract with Central Iowa Regional Council to conduct a staffing and salary analysis in an amount not to exceed $5,000 and authorize manager to execute the contract with park staff in there, maybe.
Further discussion? All's in favor?
Aye. Stuff on there.
Who, me? Okay.
I need to talk to about putting new business in for next meeting.
Christina.
The guy from, Albemarle that you know, that's in the grants. Yes, I need to put it, to contact him and have him show up for January meeting.
Okay.
All right. Next up, we have open topics.
I have no topic.
I'm always full of topics,
No.
but not for tonight.
Okay.
Assuming Jamie, you're up.
Dodged a bullet there.
Yeah. Next up, agenda items, review of action items. Okay. Austin, you're up.
See, I've got my directions on the weather vane. I'll reach out to the vendor that was recommended and I'll get some pricing. Christina and Derek are going to work on getting more information about the pricing for the well and the electric cost. I'll work on getting dates for y'all for a special meeting in December on roads. Jill has her marching orders on the alcohol for Marvin Day and the dunk tank and cash fees. We'll move forward with the pavers purchase. Christina will execute the 2 agreements for the grants that were on the consent agenda. She'll execute the agreement for the staffing and salary analysis. And we'll keep discussions going with Mr. Williams about Huntley Drive.
Okay.
Okay.
Anybody else? Christina, you got anything?
Review of action items.
Ongoing.
All right, let me get the list going.
Get ready.
Jim's list.
It's my favorite. Yeah, why don't we just start calling it my list?
I can start calling it Kim's list.
Wow,
Kim's list is getting
Did you-
short.
Hey, Jamie, did you hear what we volunteered you for earlier?
We should be able to hear him now. I think so.
No. Are you excited? Are you gonna wear a shower cap? Yes, he's so
Yeah.
excited. Okay, good. All right.
You guys should get dunked in costumes.
Yeah, that'd be good. Pricing for pavers, you can say done.
Done.
Are the Amber Meadows Tullamore signs still leaning?
Yes.
Solidly leaning.
Well, you know, the hurricane blew them over again.
Are they okay? All right, let's complete that. Have we executed the utility extension
Take a
agreement?
level over there.
Their ants, okay. Execute the change order with Water Saver Irrigation?
Yes,
Okay, you can complete that.
you just said that.
Well, I'm just making sure it was done. Complete letter to WUMA. ETJ, resolution.
Yeah, I've got it.
Is it done?
Yeah, we just need to, I can send it, or I know Andy and no, they took the resolution, but yes, I can get with Austin to make sure it's sent to those municipalities and.
Just email it out to the respective municipalities. And that'd be it. That's all
All
there
right,
is.
well, it hasn't been done yet, so leave it on there and I'll check next meeting.
Hey, as long as the letter.
It hasn't been sent, though. Yes. And no.
Straight. You have the woman email list? Yes, just disperse it on that list.
Whenever I get the letter, I can do it.
All right.
All right,
That's it?
that's it.
All right.
Wow.
Floor council comments. Jamie, you're in the box.
He doesn't have any. Okay,
Yes.
Wayne.
It's a blank box. All right, well, wait.
Jamie is love.
Comes in, we'll let him speak, but until then, Wayne.
I want to thank besides the staff, I want to thank the council for the work that they've done. And without our leader in the last week, either one of them.
Both of them were gone.
How did you guys
Survive.
survive without us?
We didn't. I've already
Okay.
talked to Chaplain about making sure that we do not, somebody has to cover for y'all if you're out of
We
state.
can't be gone at the same time.
Okay.
Okay.
That won't happen again. Apologize.
No,
Anything else?
no.
Anything else on your agenda?
I said it in jest, but I think we're legal.
It's like the third time I was called out today. Man needs his time away, so I'll just say that.
In the woods.
Sometime, see this, this took me forever to grow. All right,
Me?
Andy, yep.
Yeah, well, everybody says I talk so much, so I'll just, pass it on.
Okay. Bob, oh, you're not here. Okay.
Oh, I'm good.
You're good. Okay, I'm gonna say a couple things. First off, thank you, staff. Appreciate, again, your continued hard work. And I'm gonna go out and thank Chaplain for coming in a little bit early and just being who you are and helping us out with things. So thank you, council. I'd like to,
Council and council.
council and council. I'd like to welcome the new pastor. Appreciate him coming in and saying a few words, and it's good to meet him, and who knows. I'd like to welcome back, Ed. I think this is the first time you're in a meeting. You were scheduled, so I know you've been back for a while, but it's good to have you back and appreciate that. Just so you guys know, I did get an email from, if you remember, Gene Stowe, who's the author of Inherit the Land. He is trying to get, obviously, his movie promoted and stuff. So he sent me a little text and just want to say, he said he just found out that Smokey Bissell has given his land, including some of the inherited land, which was part of Marvin back then, to Charlotte Country Day. And he says he doubts he even knows the story, but he's looking for someone who can connect him with that. So if anyone knows Smokey Bissell, I know I'm in real estate, but I just, to get our story out.
I got him on my phone.
You got him in his phone? Okay, yeah, sure. Give him a call. Anyway, so he was just reaching out to me. Finally, this is something that's sort of related to here, but I just got back from my Canadian hunt trip and was fairly successful. Didn't care for the way they hunted out there, but I will say, as we were driving back, we were driving in a snowstorm. We had to stop in Spokane, Washington, and we stayed at a hotel there, my buddy and I. And they happened at the hotel to be having a convention on wildlife management. So me and my buddy, who had just harvested 2 deer, a mule deer and a whitetail, we were very nervous about how they would feel. And just to note, we asked the professor who we met, and he's from Stevens Point, Wisconsin. And he said, I go, how many people do you think would support wildlife management from a standpoint of hunting? And surprisingly, he said 80%, which if you think about it, those fees that the hunters of North Carolina stuff, all that pays for them for proper management. And I will say, when you don't have proper management, you have things like accidents. We've seen a lot of deer recently. I think you pointed out you saw 5 deer laying on the road. And right now, I just want to warn the community that this is a season when they're in rut right now. So the bucks are going a little crazy and they're chasing the does. And that's why you're seeing the accidents. So be careful out there for all those of you who are driving and for the new drivers. But I just kind of wanted to tie that all in. So, what? What's wrong with that? It's
So good,
it's
Joe.
safety.
So good. Safety first.
But with that, I am going to ask us to go back into.
Nope. We're going to move into make a motion to move into closed session pursuant to 143.318.11A3 to consult with the attorney to preserve the attorney-client privilege.
Further discussion. All's in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all. And then we'll come back and close the meeting, right?
You can close it in there.
Okay. What are you, who's that?